Well, I had no plans on doing a podcast update this morning for Seasons of Thoughts, but I did want to chat about a little bit of something right now. There was a latest patch this morning for Farming Simulator that ended up breaking the oil challenge save file. So since Farming Simulator 25 has come out, this is the second save that we've lost, or playthrough that we lost. We lost the Own the Map challenge on the Monteith map, and that was one I was super excited about because it was going great. Viewership was amazing on it, and a patch broke it, and I didn't ever go back to it, and it was probably my fault to see if the modder, who I'm trying to blank on whose map that is right now, I apologize. I didn't wait to see if there's an update, and so that was kind of my fault. I got into some other playthroughs and just kind of abandoned it. This one we're gonna wait. We're gonna see if NoCreekFarms does do a patch, and if it's a type of patch that we can keep our save file on, then we'll definitely get back into that playthrough. I did spend about an hour and a half trying to fix it myself. There looks like there was an issue with some shaders, but once I was what seemed to fix the shader file myself, I then went back into trying to load the game and just got a crash with no error. There's no error in the log at all. You get to the start button, you hit the start button, and the game just crashes. So at that point, I can't debug it or try to even fix it myself, being that it is a mod that's not supported by Giants, meaning that it's not on ModHub. That just means we're kind of stuck until the modder, NoCreekFarms, I believe, is active again. I know he had to take a break for a while. So we'll see. Time will tell. I had no plans on doing another save file until at least January, so I was just going to kind of finish up the year with the oil challenge. So now it's December 2nd, and I don't know what we're going to do when it comes to Farming Simulator content. I did start posting some ANNO videos on the SocksWayUp channel, which I'm having a blast with. I'm super addicted to that game. But I wanted to keep the farming channel going, and I wanted to keep the farming channel separate in its own, entity where it's just content about farming video games. So I might look on Steam again and see if there's any other farming games to add to our repertoire. But right now I'm just kind of bummed. I was excited to get this playthrough back going today, and we're not going to be able to. So we do have some things in the background that are saved, and I'll probably start editing those. I wanted to put the 10-year challenge video together for the Iowa Plains and do a mega cut of that, which is going to be a super long video, just like the whiskey one that we just released. I'm trying not to get frustrated, and it's something that we talked about last podcast. We looked at City Skylines, and it was something you'd go through every single update. You would get, well, let me take a step back. So the problem with these type of games that really rely on mods to make them playable long term. So Farming Simulator, in my opinion, you can get a ton of hours in without mods, but you get to the point where to keep it fresh, to keep it exciting, to keep you wanting to come back, you need those mods. And same thing with City Skylines 1, and eventually it will be the same thing with City Skylines 2 when it comes to content. Right now, I don't believe that you can make your own assets, but you can make scripted mods. There's all types of amazing mods out there like Anarchy and Move It, and a lot of similar stuff to City Skylines 1. But the whole point of that is when a patch happens or a major DLC comes out, you're typically going to have to wait for the modders to update their mods to be compatible with the new version of the game. And when they're mods that aren't officially supported by the game developer, it's kind of hit or miss whether or not that will happen. So those modders that aren't, whether it's because their mod, it won't get accepted because of types of things that they're adding to it, the Giants just won't allow, like the Montana map that we were using that had a whiskey distillery on it and a beer production. Those mods are never going to be on ModHub. So will they support those mods and make updates to those maps? Most likely, yes, but it's a waiting game at that point. And luckily, with this patch, I haven't seen a ton of mods that were throwing extra errors. One of my guesses is that they added another fill type, and there's been a lot of issues with maps that have max fill types, and that's one of the reasons I haven't done a gold mining series yet, is because every time I try to get that set up, there's an issue. Ophelia is trying to say hi. Can we get her nose in there? Get her nose in there? there she is. So yeah, I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what my plan's gonna be. It's something that we want to keep content coming out. I might start another start from scratch wilderness type map, which is what I was planning on doing in January. So we might just move that up a little bit. As far as the farm rescue series I talked about on the first episode of the podcast, I don't enjoy the RP stuff, and I really didn't want to do anything like a regular playthrough on the new map. I don't really enjoy the non-American maps. I've tried it. I tried to do the one in Poland, and it was a fun series, and I talked about in that series doing a lot more series like that, but the reality is I get into those maps and I just don't enjoy them as much. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think I need to go into detail on that. I don't enjoy them as much. I'm a US farmer content creator for Farming Simulator at this point, and that is what it is. So yeah, thinking about doing another wilderness series, and kind of hope, fingers crossed, that we can finish the oil challenge that I was really enjoying. So it's been the part of the journey that's been the most annoying, is finding a game that you're 100% addicted to and then relying on the mod community, which is an amazing community, to make the game playable long term, and it just is frustrating. So a little bit shorter podcasts, and these might end up being about 7 to 8 minutes long term. We'll see. But just a little rant, wanted to get it out there, and feeling a little discouraged by the way content updates are coming out for Farming Simulator. It seems like they're not good. And for creating content and having to lose time that you could be making videos and spending time being productive, you're instead trying to debug things to get your saves to work, or debating not doing long-term saves anymore because of these issues that you could lose it, or moving back to just Giants official maps, which is boring because you do, one playthrough on that and you've seen the map. You want a different environment for the stimulation of your eyes. So I don't think anyone's surprised by my viewpoint on this, but just wanted to kind of put it out there, and just a little sad because I don't see it improving anytime soon when it comes to updates to Farming Simulator. They're just not as good as they could be. Trying not to bash them too much, because I know software development is tough, especially when you have executives pushing deadlines and not allowing the dev team to actually have enough time to develop the software. And video games have always been that way, and well, they haven't always been that way, but they've been that way since the internet's allowed patches to be pushed out to something like Steam at any time. And so now you have that temptation of, we don't have to ship a 100% finished product because we can patch it whenever we want. You don't have to go to a store and get a CD-ROM or CD anymore and put it in your computer and install the update. You just pull it from the internet, so quality dips. And I've seen that in my software development career, as well as watching the way video games get released and developed. When I was a kid, games did not have bugs. They were released and never had updates, and it was awesome. There were some bugs, but they weren't game breaking. And to lose a save file because a small content update patch was pushed out that added a couple tractors, but a lot of bug fixes, it's very frustrating, and we'll get through it, and we will figure out what we're gonna do next. But wanted you guys all to know what the process was, or what was going on right now on the channel. Did not mean to have this many days without a video, but it is what it is. We'll figure it out. I'm SocksWayUp. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one.